Hey guys, it's Sencynical, and for this video I will be giving you some tips and tricks for Shadow Wars, aka the endgame content. It can be really challenging, and so I'm going to show you how to get through it without paying a single dollar. So if that's something that does interest you, then stick around and don't forget to drop a like. Help me reach the like goal of 20 likes, and comment any of your own tips for Shadow Wars. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this weekly. So let's get into the video. So the first thing, if you haven't already, pretty obvious, is you want to assign your captains as bodyguards for your war chiefs, and this allows your war chief to have more orcs around him, more stronger orcs other than grunts when defending certain points. So definitely do this. The next thing you should do is make sure you have all of your upgrades for your defenses equipped. Sometimes when you change a war chief, the upgrades will deactivate. So you can see here I'm reactivating them right now. And also you can check the stats for the orcs attacking you, but I never really do that because it doesn't really mean anything. You could still kill them. You might have some issues depending on their abilities, but that's really about it. Don't forget to complete the Champions Fight Pit, and if you do this and succeed, you'll get a extra slot to promote a orc to become war chief, giving you one extra orc and a few bodyguards defending your fortress, and also 2 extra upgrades to choose from to add to your defenses. So when defending, it's important that you make it as hard as possible for the attackers to not get into your fort. Do anything you can to prevent that. So right off the bat, what I like to do is go for their grogs and try to use them to attack the other grog, and also to use it to attack the war chiefs and the captains. It really is a good start, and if the attacking orcs do have a drake with them, what you can do is wait until they are broken and mount that drake and just spam the fire attacks on any war chiefs and captains that are not immune to fire. You can also equip a drake as your mount, and this is really helpful for fortress defenses, but you do have to be careful that your drake doesn't shoot fire at your own captains or war chiefs, because you could end up losing a lot of your own orcs that way, especially if there's 2 drakes flying around. Your casualty rate might just go up a little bit, so keep that in mind. And if you do want, you could also just try to focus on having orcs immune to fire. That would definitely help in a situation like that. When defending, I like to focus on the lower level orcs first. Usually they are the captains, not the war chiefs, and I like to dominate them. And if I can't, just to make things a bit quicker, I like to shame them. Most likely, if you're higher level, or the orcs are higher level, they will have Iron Will. So just shaming them will do the trick. And then war chiefs usually do have Iron Will as well. But if you can, definitely dominate them, and this will make your defensive round so much easier. You're going to have more orcs helping you help defend the fortress, and that really helps out a lot. I made this mistake myself while recording this gameplay, but if you can, try your best to not focus on one captain or war chief, because if you do, chances are one of your captains or war chiefs might start bleeding out, and you won't even know it until they either do bleed out, or until you're done with the orc or war chief you're focusing on and realize you're not going to make it to save them in time. And this has happened to me quite a bit, until I realized the issue was I was focusing too much on one orc, or let alone one area. So just try to stick to rooftops and stuff like that, and make sure you're observing everything, and try to look out for the first point that the attackers will be going for, which is the main entrance of the fortress. And if you do this, you'll risk losing orcs a bit less. And I know in this video I was focusing on a legendary orc, and I really wanted to capture him because he was a legendary, and I don't have that many legendaries in the area I have the fortress in, well, in the region. So that's really the reason why I was focused on him. But if you can, don't forget to dominate. I was luckily able to dominate the legendary orcs. Usually they do have Iron Will. So another tip I have for you guys is if you have 2 Olag Highs in your army or region that you have branded, do not put them together as in one is defending the other as war chief and captain, because if you do this, you might have a lot of interference with the two. When they both attack, they might end up hitting each other constantly by accident, or if one of them is having like a stun grenade or something like that, if he will just keep stunning the friendly orcs around him. But the main issue I do experience with this is they're so gigantic that they end up hitting each other constantly, and this is so counterproductive, especially when defending. And I did lose a few orcs because of this. They just ended up hurting each other and causing each other to bleed out while versing a captain of higher level. So keep this in mind when you are assigning captains and war chiefs as bodyguards and stuff like that. As a side note, guys, what I do is I put any of my favorite orcs out of being war chief or bodyguard for a war chief, because some orcs I have are really good and I do not want them to die, and I'm not going to be hovering over them constantly during a fortress assault or defense. So I just exclude them from any fortress assaults or defenses. And if you guys didn't think to do so, well, there you go. I do this more specifically for Bruce. I made him Overlord so he doesn't really have to deal with any of this issue. But if I do end up losing the fortress, Bruce will become captured, and I do risk him getting killed. So if you do not want that happen to your favorite orc or to Bruce, if you did keep him alive, then do not, make him Overlord. Just try to make him a regular captain, but he will probably go onto a quest constantly, and he might die that way as well if you do forget to make him Overlord again. So do keep that in mind. So the last thing I want to tell you guys is to make sure when you are branding a lot of orcs in the fortress that you do have some extra slots in your army, because if you don't, they will most likely fight one of your already branded orcs or any existing orcs that you do not have branded. And if you do not attend these fights, chances are your orc will lose because of RNG, and it doesn't matter what level your orc is or what level the orc attacking is or the new orc entering a region is. And if you go to a different region and you skip time or advance time, this fight will happen and you probably wouldn't realize it until you come back. So yeah, this is definitely something to keep in mind or to think about if you haven't already. But that's really it for this video, and if you did find this video helpful, be sure to drop a like, help me reach the like goal of 30 likes, and comment any tips of your own for Shadow Wars. Also, if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for more tips and tricks and tutorials for Shadow of War weekly. So I'll see you in my next video. Peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.